due to this consistent, the opposition and Dalit rights activists doggedly putting the government on the dock, and the cases of atrocities like one after another coming into light, uh, the opposition has largely been able to make it, and like an image has been made of this government, that the fact that Rajasthan Dalit atrocities are taking place in high numbers, which is also not a misstatement, because there are atrocities happening.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Political Pulse. Today we are in conversation with Deep Mukherjee, senior correspondent at the Indian Express. A 9-year-old Dalit boy from Rajasthan's Jalore district died at an Ahmedabad hospital on August 14. Family members have alleged that the child died of assault by a teacher. The assault had taken place on July 20th. The family has said the teacher got infuriated after he noticed the child drinking water from a pot meant for upper caste people. With state assembly elections slated for 2023, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, in the final year of his third term, is facing the ire of Dalit right activists and opposition parties over the death of a 9-year-old boy from Jalore district. So, Deep, could you briefly tell us about the incident in Rajasthan's Jalore where the 9-year-old Dalit boy was assaulted by his teacher and what exactly happened?
Yes, so according to the FIR registered in the case, on July 20th, the boy was beaten up by his teacher at the private school where he studied. So the accused teacher in the case, whose name is Chail Singh, he also owns the school. So as per the FIR, the boy had touched an earthen pot meant for the teacher, who is from an upper caste, and had drank water from it. So as a result of that, the teacher got infuriated and beat him up, which resulted in the injuries. For the next 24 days, the family moved from one hospital to another in various places in Rajasthan and also in Gujarat, until finally the child breathed his last on August 13th in the Ahmedabad Civil Hospital. So that is what the FIR says. And the FIR was registered on the same day, August 13, after the child died. And the incident has resulted in a huge backlash for the Ashok Gehlot led Congress government in Rajasthan, simply because if we go by the FIR, the sheer inhumanity of the incident and the fact that even after 75 years of independent India, uh, that Dalit child has to lose his life for just touching a drinking water pot. So as a result, it snowballed into a major embarrassment for the Rajasthan government. And ever since then, it has been grabbing national headlines.
Has Rajasthan recently witnessed a rise in atrocities against members of scheduled caste communities? And what does the data tell us?
Yeah, so Rajasthan has traditionally been a very feudal state because of its past and history, and in various pockets of Rajasthan, regressive traditions which uh, encourage caste discrimination are still prevalent, and as a result of it, we often get to hear about cases of Dalit atrocities. For example, cases where Dalit grooms are stopped from riding a horse is very common in Rajasthan. And earlier this year, the Rajasthan police released data which said that in the last 10 years, there were 76 cases registered where the groom was not let to ride a horse or a mare. So these 76 cases are those which were documented. So obviously, chances are that there may be more instances. And if we go by the data in Rajasthan last year, 2021, saw an increase of 7.23% in cases pertaining to atrocities on Dalits. And in 2020, Rajasthan was the third state third ranked state in all over India after UP and Bihar when it comes to Dalit atrocities. So in a state like this, where several incidents come up it's a matter of concern for the administration also. And if we see the tenure of the present Congress government in Rajasthan in the past 3.5 years, several cases of Dalit atrocities have come up, some of which have been in the news for a longer time because of the sheer gruesomeness of the cases. Like, for example, in April 2019, shortly after the Congress formed its government in December 2018, uh, the gang rape of a Dalit woman in her teens in Alwar district's Thana Ghazi, and the crime also took place right in front of her husband, as both of them were waylaid by a group of people. And the gang rape after the gang rape, they also recorded a video which subsequently was circulated on on local social media circles. So the case had drawn a severe backlash for the Rajasthan government because the family members of the woman alleged that the local police had tried to cover the case up till the Lok Sabha elections were concluded in that area. So that is one case. After that, there have been cases where some Dalit workers in Nagaur district were in 2020, they were severely assaulted and beaten up, and allegedly screwdrivers were inserted in one of their like private parts. And there were also cases where Dalit, like a Dalit young man was killed last year uh, for putting up Ambedkar posters in Rajasthan. And there was also a case of honor killing where the victim was a woman who was in love with a Dalit boy, and both of them were a couple, but the woman's father killed her. And despite the fact that the Rajasthan High Court had in its order directed the officials to provide adequate police protection, the crime despite that the crime took place. And most recently there was this case in this year earlier this year in Pali district, where Jitendra Meghwal, another Dalit man, he was killed, and it was alleged that he was killed for sporting a mustache, which was seen as a sign of the assertion by Dalits, which his assaulters from upper caste they couldn't tolerate. So in recent times, Rajasthan has been consistently in news for atrocities on Dalit.
So has the Ashok Gehlot led Rajasthan government, is facing the ire of Dalit right activists now? What
Yeah.
allegations are being raised, and has the government actually done anything to, to address this systemic issues, deep biases? How is the government acting on it?
Yeah, so after each case of such atrocities, the opposition has been consistently criticizing the government. Like even after this latest case in Jalore district, the BJP president Satish Punia, he criticized the chief minister. And as for the government, the fact is that they have, like, if after every incident, the government has said that swift action has been taken or the accused have been arrested. But the fact remains that those are actions which were taken after the crime was committed. And despite the fact that the government has indeed arrested most accused in all these cases, Dalit rights activists and civil society members are not satisfied, and they have cornered the government, resulting in a severe backlash for it. The government, on its part, has taken up some initiatives meant to spread a message of equality and also awareness about caste discrimination. Like in Bundi district of Rajasthan, there was uh, an initiative has been started by its local SP called Operation Samantha, under which the police supports Dalit grooms, families of Dalit grooms who are willing to ride a mare for their wedding procession, because there are villages where no Dalit groom till date has ever like taken out a wedding procession with riding a mare. So that says a lot about how the caste discrimination runs deep in rural Rajasthan and in some case in urban areas as well. So Operation Samantha was resulted in quite a bit of success, and several weddings were done where the police engaged with people from not only the scheduled caste but also from other castes, upper castes, and encouraged them to support and cheer for the Dalit grooms when they would ride the mare for the wedding procession. So that is one initiative that was widely reported after the uh, Rajasthan Ashok Gehlot government introduced it. But the fact remains that Dalit atrocities are still continuing unabated, and that is a matter of major concern. Like in after the Jalore case, Chandrasekhar Azad, who is the founder of the Bhim Army and also the chief of the Azad Samaj Party, he slammed Ashok Gehlot and also took a sarcastic jibe on him on Twitter, ridiculing the amount of rupees 5 lakh compensation which was announced by Gehlot shortly after the incident. And he wrote some very strong words saying that अशोक गहलोत जी ने हमारे 9 साल के भाई का इतना दाम लगाया है 5 lakh, and that is something because the family of the Jalore victim, they have been constantly demanding a compensation of 50 lakh and also government job. So that is something which is not helping to bolster the image of the government.
How is the Ashok Gehlot government reacting to these allegations? And also, will the rise in these atrocities affect the political future of Congress in the state and also of Ashok Gehlot?
Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has been repeatedly reiterating that his government is committed to ensuring social justice, and he, for example, by as an example, he always mentions that how his government has made registration of FIRs compulsory for every complaint, and also made provisions where one can register an FIR at the SP office if that person is like the local police refuses, and also the fact that how swift action has been taken in such atrocities cases. So he himself reiterates and clears the air about the intention of his government, but then due to this consistent, the opposition and the Dalit rights activists doggedly putting the government on the dock, and the cases of atrocities one after another coming into light, uh, the opposition has largely been able to make it, and an image has been made of this government, that the fact that Rajasthan Dalit atrocities are taking place in high numbers, which is also not a misstatement because there are atrocities happening. So with just a little over 1 year left for the election, next assembly election, it can have severe bearing on the elections.
Thank you so much for giving us your time and thank you for sharing those details.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Tune in to the Indian Express for all the latest updates. Thank you so much for watching and do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel.